Hello and welcome to Talking Golf with Gary. This week, the dynamic Gary will introduce you to all kinds of topics pertinent to this past week of golf. He'll give you some tidbits of information as what's coming up and take you on a tour around the world for all of the golfing highlights. Sit back and enjoy Talking Golf with Gary.
And hello and welcome to another edition of Talking Golf with Gary. It's edition number 155. As we are back this week, I want to thank my robotic friend there on the software that sat in for me last week as I just was feeling under the weather and could not do the episode, but was able to put something together with the help of a little technology, so I hope it was okay. And had another great golf tournament this week with just a lot of close action and a lot of struggling for position and players getting ready for the first major of the year, the Masters, which is coming up in about a month. But let's look at the recap and see what happened this week. Justin Rose won his first World Golf Championship, making up a 3-shot deficit against Bubba Watson and then a 2-shot deficit against Keegan Bradley. Rose was steady down the stretch, even with a bogey from the bunker on the 18th hole, and closed with a 2-under-70 to win the Cadillac Championship. Watson, as always, made it interesting as he hit a bullet of a 4-iron out of the palm trees to just inside 10 feet for a chance to force a playoff. His birdie putt missed on the low side, ending a wild day even by his standards. He closed with the 74. And if that wasn't enough, Tiger Woods muddled his Masters future when he left after 11 holes with soreness in his left Achilles tendon, wincing badly on his final shot, a 321-yard drive right down the middle of the 12th fairway. Woods said he would have it evaluated to determine the scope of the injury. New number one, Rory McIlroy, pulled within one shot of the lead with a birdie on the 16th hole, but he closed with a bogey and a 67 to finish alone in third. Through it all, Rose worked his way to the top of the leaderboard with a nifty up and down behind the green on the par 5 10th, and he seized control of the tournament with a shot into 5 feet for birdie on the 14th. Rose finished at 16 under for his 10th victory worldwide, moving him back into the top 10 of a world ranking that remains loaded with European players. Watson didn't hit a fairway on a front 9, and only one tee shot managed to stay inside the bunkers that frame the fairways. He was in the water twice, once in a canal on the 5th hole that not many knew were there. He shot a 39 on the front 9, which included 3 putts outside 8 feet to limit the damage. And he wasn't the only player who faltered. Keegan Bradley opened with an eagle, tied for the lead with a wedge into 3 feet for a birdie on the 5th, then rolled in a 12-foot birdie at number 7 that gave him a 2-shot lead. But Bradley came undone with bogeys on the par 5s, even though he was around the green with his second shot on both of them. On number 8, his ball buried so deep in the grass behind the green, he called for a ruling to see if it had plugged, that he purposely played 20 feet away from the flag, knowing it would roll off the green. He failed to get up and down. Then he 3-putted from about 6 feet on the par 5 10th, turning a birdie chance into a bogey. He dropped 4 shots, Bradley did, over the last 4 holes, including a double bogey on the 18th for a 75. He went from leading at the turn to a tie for 8th with a 41 on the back 9. Rose remained to be the last man standing. Throughout the back 9, Masters champion Charles Schwartzel, McIlroy, and even Luke Donald for a brief moment all looked to be poised for a run. Rose never seriously came close to being challenged, and never came close to a bogey on the back nine until his approach landed in the back bunker on 18, blasted out through the green and just off the edge. He chipped to tap-in range for a bogey, dropping his lead to one shot. Then he headed to the practice range to see if Watson could catch him, and it was there that he celebrated when Watson missed his tying putt. So congratulations should go out to Justin Rose, winning his first WGC event, and that's a big tournament for Justin Rose, who's shown so much promise over the years and hasn't really lived up to the full potential that everybody thought he would. But maybe it's all coming together for him now at the age of 31. And George McNeil had birdied his last 3 holes for a 3 under 69 to rally past Japanese star Ryo Ishikawa and win the Puerto Rico Open. Ishikawa, on the anniversary of the earthquake and tsunami that left his homeland in ruins, closed with a 68 on Sunday and had a one-shot lead. McNeil caught him with a birdie on the 16th, took the lead with a birdie on the 17th, and added another birdie on the par 5 18th. It was the second career win for McNeil, who finished at 16 under 272. Ishikawa had his best career finish on the PGA Tour. Henrik Stenson and Boo Weekley tied for third, 3 shots behind. McNeil earned $630,000 for his second career victory, and he won the 2007 Fries.com Open in Las Vegas as a PGA Tour victory for victory number 1. And the Nationwide Tour was in action yesterday as Paul Haley II won the Chile Classic in his third career Nationwide Tour start, closing with a 1 under 71 on Sunday for a 3-stroke victory. The 24-year-old former Georgia Tech player shot 64 on Friday and Saturday to take a 6-shot lead into the final round. He finished at 22 under 266 and earned $108,000 in the inaugural event. Joseph Bramlett shot a 64 to finish second at Prince of Wales Country Club. Paul Claxton was another stroke back after a 68. Haley missed all but one fairway in his first 12 holes. He found the fairway on a par 4 12th and made a 6-foot birdie putt to widen the lead to 3. Then hit the fairway on a par 4 14th and holed a 12-footer for a birdie to push his advantage to 4 strokes. A bogey on a par 3 15th cut the lead to 3, and he parred the final 3 holes. And a good day for Paul Haley. And we're going to take a break and be back right after these messages. For all the listeners of Talking Golf with Gary,
Hello and welcome.
Audible is offering a free audio download with a free 14-day trial to give you a chance to check out their service. Over 75,000 titles to choose from in many different categories, including science fiction, mysteries, biographies, sports, computers, you name it, they have it. To download your free audiobook today, go to audiblepodcast.com/Talking Golf with Gary. Again, that's audiblepodcast.com/Talking Golf with Gary for your free audiobook today. For all the listeners of Talking Golf with Gary, Audible is offering a free audiobook download with a free 14-day trial to give you a chance to check out their service. Over 75,000 titles to choose from in many different categories, including science fiction, mysteries, biographies, sports, computers, you name it, they have it. To download your free audiobook today, go to audiblepodcast.com/Talking Golf with Gary. Again, that's audiblepodcast.com/Talking Golf with Gary for your free audiobook today. You can now hear our show while on the go with Stitcher Smart Radio. On-demand news, talk, and more on your mobile phone. The latest episode is always available for you. No syncing needed and no memory or storage wasted. Available for your iPhone, Android phone, WebOS phone, BlackBerry. Downloading is easy. Go to Stitcher.com or check out your app store. Stitcher Smart Radio, the smarter way to listen to radio.
This is Barry from Mets Music. Tune in weekly to Gary and myself at Mets Musings at Podomatic.com and also on iTunes.
And don't forget to tune into that fine show at metmusings.podomatic.com, as well as our good friend Brewtown Sports, who does a terrific show, and his show's at brewtownsports.podomatic.com. And if you'd like to be a part of this show, you can by sending us an email at talkinggolf@gmail.com or calling our 24-hour comment, feedback, voicemail hotline at 516-619-6341. And in other golf news, we just were speaking about Ryo Ishikawa, and he no longer has to worry about trying to qualify for the Masters. The 20-year-old from Japan received a special invitation for the second time. Augusta National Chairman Billy Payne says the Masters historically invites international players to expand the major's global reach. He says Ishikawa will help increase interest in Japan and throughout Asia. Ishikawa has won 9 times on the Japan Golf Tour. He also received an invitation in 2009 when he was 17. He was the second youngest player to compete in the Masters. In the last 10 years, the only player not from Asia to receive a special invitation to the Masters was Greg Norman in 2002. Among those yet to qualify this year is Ernie Els of South Africa. And Donald Trump has monster plans for his purchase of the Doral Golf Resort. As we told you last week, Trump bought the famous golf resort outside Miami for $150 million and said Thursday he plans to invest more than $200 million to revamp the Blue Monster Championship course and stop at nothing to make Doral the ultimate golf destination. Doral has held a PGA Tour event since 1962, and it was elevated to a World Golf Championship in 2007. It is hosting a 74-man field this week that includes the top 50 players in the world ranking. Trump said the course would be shut down after the 2013 tournament, and Gil Hanse would renovate what is now called the TPC Blue Monster. Hanse was selected Wednesday to design the course in Rio de Janeiro for the 2016 Olympics. Trump is likely to change the name of the Doral course, but won't decide until the project is finished. Trump already has Trump International in West Palm Beach, which once hosted the LPGA Tour Championship. He also has courses in New York, Washington, and along the coast in California. And professional golfer Jarrett Lyle suffered a recurrence of leukemia upon returning home to Australia to prepare for the birth of his first child. Robert Allenby, the fellow PGA Tour player who supports a cancer program that once had Lyle as a patient, said he received word Thursday morning that Lyle was going to start chemotherapy as his wife gave birth. Lyle was diagnosed with acute myeloid leukemia at age 17. He not only recovered, he went on to earn his PGA Tour card. He thought the chemotherapy from his teen years would make him infertile and was thrilled to learn that his wife, Brioni, was pregnant. Lyle's manager, Tony Buffalo, said Friday the player was in good spirits and elated about the birth of his child, which was expected by Saturday. Lyle matched his best finish on the PGA Tour 3 weeks ago at Riviera where he missed the playoff by 2 shots and tied for 5th. He went to Mexico and tied for 37th. Perhaps his greatest fame in America came last year at the Phoenix Open when he made an ace on the raucous par 3 16th hole at the event at Scottsdale. And that's that closed stadium hole that is famous in the world of golf. And it was reported today that his wife was induced and gave birth. And he got to see the baby, and I believe that he is starting chemotherapy immediately. So we wish gave birth to a daughter on Saturday, actually. And he's going to start that chemotherapy immediately. As I think today was the first day, and let's hope that he recovers from that and is back playing very soon on the tour.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, a celebration anew. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
And our birthdays for this week, we have none for today, but tomorrow on the 13th is Andy Bean, the former Masters winner, turns 59 years old, and another Masters winner on the 14th of March, Bob Goalby, turns 83, and Goalby is also the uncle of Champions Tour player Jay Haas. And on the 16th of March, the former LPGA star, Hollis Stacy, she turns 58 years old. And on March 17th, even though he's deceased, it wouldn't be right if we didn't remember the great Bobby Jones, who would have been 110 years old. And happy birthday to all of those folks. And let's move on to the calendar.
Now it's time to do the calendar. Now it's time to do the calendar. Oh, hooray, let's sing the calendar. Now it's time to do the calendar.
And on next week's calendar, the PGA Tour has the Transitions Championship with Gary Woodland as the defending champion coming in. And the LPGA Tour has the R.R. Donnelly LPGA Founders Cup, and Carrie Webb is the defending champ in that one. And the Champions Tour, as everybody looks like they're in action next week, the Toshiba Classic with Nick Price defending. And on the European Tour, they have the Open de Andalucia, Costa del Sol, and Paul Lowry is defending that one. And the Nationwide Tour is off, so they'll be off next week. They'll be starting their U.S. run, as they've been playing a lot of a couple of spots in South America. And don't forget, you can listen to the podcast weekly at tgwg.podomatic.com or on Stitcher Smart Radio, and you can get the free app for Stitcher Smart Radio at stitcher.com/talkinggolfwithgary. And also you can pick us up in.com as well as on iTunes. And you can view the video of this podcast at it goes up on YouTube under DUFFERSPORTS. The same for Vimeo, VIMEO. It's also under DUFFERSPORTS. And you can visit the online store at www.zazzle.com/talkinggolfwithgary and pick up some nice gear, some Talking Golf with Gary articles. And you can send your questions and comments, as always, to talkinggolf@gmail.com or call the voicemail feedback hotline at 516-619-6341. And finally tonight, at many golf tournaments, the pros can win a car if they ace a certain hole. At the WGC Cadillac Championship on Sunday, a Cadillac was the prize, and when Paul Casey stepped up to the par 3 15th, he assumed that the Cadillac behind him was the prize for acing that hole. Casey informed his caddy, Craig Connolly, that the two of them would split the prize car if Casey aced the hole. Well, you can guess what happened next. Using an 8-iron, Casey dropped in the ace, and Connolly went crazy with delight. There was only one problem. The 15th wasn't the prize-winning hole. It was the 13th. So it was a nice ace. Goes in a record book as a stroke, but no prize and no car. Sorry, guys. Maybe the next time. And that's going to wrap it up for this week. Hope you have a great week. And don't forget, next week, Transitions Championship. And the following week will be the Arnold Palmer Invitational. And we'll keep you updated with Tiger. And until then, have a great week. Talk to you then.